Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my first book review of 2025, and that is for The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. I picked this book up recently at the airport. I had seen so many people chatting about this at like the Goodreads 2024 wrap-ups. So I really wanted to see what it was about. I read Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak, I believe 2 years ago. Really enjoyed that. That was a 5-star read for me. I really loved Rekulak's prose and his pacing and the kind of mysteries and twists that that book had. So I definitely wanted to see what this one is about. I will say the plot of this one also really intrigued me because I have actually been to a wedding very similar to the one described in this book. This kind of like extravagant, wealthy, 3-day camp setting off a lake wedding. I have been to one of those. They are very strange and very cool. So I was really excited to read a kind of like mystery thriller around that kind of setting. So I'm going to read the inside flap for you guys real quick so we know what this one is about. It's been 3 years since Frank Sikowski last heard from his daughter, and he's devastated by their long, unhappy estrangement. But then an unexpected phone call from Maggie changes everything. She says she's getting married and she wants her father to walk her down the aisle. Frank is overjoyed by the news. Here at last is a chance for reconciliation, a perfect opportunity to repair their fractured relationship. But a disturbing discovery about his future son-in-law leads Frank to wonder if Maggie is making a terrible mistake. And once he arrives at the wedding, an extravagant 3-day affair set at a luxurious lakefront estate, the warning signs keep piling up. Can Frank unravel the truth about Maggie's fiance before it's too late? An edge-of-your-seat thriller that delves deep into love, marriage, and family ties. The Last One at the Wedding offers non-stop surprises and brilliant suspense. Sorry, Bart. My dog Bartok is like walking around the studio right now, sniffing absolutely everything. So if I look away a little bit, I am looking at him. He might come say hi later. Yes, he might. Okay, anyhow, so this book actually kind of reminded me a lot of Tana French's writing. Not necessarily in style, but in her kind of slow burn determination to create a wealth of character depth with our lead protagonist and his kind of familial relationships. It reminded me quite a lot of The Searcher. Again, just in tone and in characterization of our lead. Our lead is a middle-aged man who is estranged from his daughter, reconnecting with her, and reconnecting with her as she has kind of landed into this new lap of luxury. I think the character development in this book was its strongest aspect. I really felt like I got to know Frank and see everything from his perspective. And I really appreciated that. I loved his kind of unreliable narration when initially depicting the members of his own family to kind of protect them from his true feelings before he was ready to share that with the reader. I thought that was really well done, especially since we are given such tunnel vision focus on both his sister as well as his daughter. So I really loved how that was handled. I found his sister's storyline to be initially extremely irritating, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Tammy seemed like a very good person, but with kind of a misplaced sense of self and righteousness. There's a lot of moments where the child that she's looking after, Abigail, is doing some kind of very bratty things, and I feel like the way that Frank's relationship with Tammy and the child Abigail was written was to show kind of the annoyance and somebody who has been really removed from raising a child for so long. And so while I appreciated very greatly what the initial storyline was doing to show Frank's relationship with his sister and Abigail at the first half of the book, completely separate from the second half of the book once we have all of the climaxes and why everything is happening. I did find those scenes to be incredibly irritating. Incredibly irritating. Again, they all ended up serving a purpose, which I think worked very well in the back end, but I will say I was rolling my eyes constantly with some of the scenes in this story that with some of the Abigail, Tammy, and Frank scenes in the story from the beginning, especially the one where Tammy makes Frank switch rooms, I was like, what? Like, there is just no way that you can ask, like, this is, like, not really a spoiler, but there's just no way you can ask, like, a middle-aged man to go and sleep in a bunk bed and give a 10-year-old child an ensuite master bedroom and bathroom at his own daughter's wedding. Like, that to me was just, like, so bizarre and just, like, unrealistic that would happen and that people would cave to it. And I understand that is a plot point that serves a purpose down the road, but to me that was just so unrealistic that would happen. Like, if anything, have the kid take the couch or, like, share the room with the foster mom. Like, to me it was just, like, one of those things that, like, as far as, like, plot holes and suspension of disbelief, that was, like, my biggest moment, which I guess is pretty good, seeing that I really don't have too many criticisms of this novel. I guess you could say it's a murder mystery. I feel like it's less of a murder mystery, though, and more of a character study on Frank and his relationship with his daughter, as well as kind of a commentary on class. I thought that was really, really, really done to kind of look at 3 different levels of class all put in the same place. We have the uber rich 1%ers, our, like, stable middle class family, and then you have one character who comes from literally absolutely nothing, kind of all thrust together into this world, and seeing how everyone reacts alongside one another and what people will do to move into different classes and how that motivates people and where people come from and how money can really sway somebody to go against their morals. Like, this was very much a commentary on class, more so than it was on the actual murder mystery. And it was also, very interestingly, a commentary on, like, the concept of the father-daughter relationship. And I loved that. And again, it reminded me so much of The Searcher, because yes, The Searcher by Tana French is a murder mystery, but it's so much more than that. It really is this, like, beautiful, slow burn character study of a, once again, father-child style relationship, and how, like, you can be tested and pulled in so many different directions, and then highlights kind of the loyalty that should or shouldn't be there in these certain types of either familial relationships or then fabricated relationships. And I thought this book did a really, 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 really good job of having this emotional depth that I was not expecting. And it's kind of hinted at a little bit in Hidden Pictures. You can definitely see kind of like the similar tones and beliefs that Rekulak has, but I think this book is very, very, very different overall from it. Hidden Pictures really, really leans into that kind of mystery and intrigue. This book, the mystery and the murder, is definitely on the back burner, and I wasn't expecting that, especially since this book feels fast-paced, but at the same time is also very, very slow burning. To get to all of the unravelings. Like, I didn't leave this book with any questions. I felt like I got all of the answers that I wanted, but a lot of those really, really took time to get to. And it was just kind of this journey of being in this man's mind that really made the book for me. This is definitely an emotional read. It is definitely tragic. It is definitely heartfelt. And it's definitely not for somebody who was just looking for like a chill, fast beach read. I did read this very, 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 very quickly. But I would say this is definitely one of those slower, emotionally driven mysteries. And I liked it. I liked the twist. I didn't see it coming. I wouldn't say I was blindsided by it though. Like, things are very well hinted at for you to kind of unravel what's happening, but I did enjoy the twist. I thought it was interesting. And I also thought it was a really cool commentary again on, again, the differences in class. So yeah, don't go into this book being like, this is going to be a great like murder mystery read, because that's not what this is highlighting. This is definitely a drama. that has kind of these darker elements in it and this kind of twisty-turny moment and this kind of whodunit aspect. But again, all of that is on the back burner. Again, this is a story about a middle-aged man's relationship with his family, and his own like sense of pride and definition of self-worth. So definitely not like your traditional kind of horror book that I would read on this channel, but I really, really, really loved it. This was a 5-star read for me. I think I liked it more than Hidden Pictures. Hidden Pictures to me was a very, very fast-paced kind of, oh my god, I can't believe that it happened and I didn't see that twist coming at all kind of story. Again, this one very, very, very emotionally driven. Very, very, very heartfelt, and I loved the setting. The setting was so beautiful, and I know I said that I had been to a wedding similar to this, so it was one of those things where I was like, I could really see everything that was happening in this story happening in real life. Again, apart from just a few situations between Tammy and Frank, I really did believe almost all of the characters' actions and what was happening and why. I think I was most intrigued by the characters of Aiden and Maggie, so our bride and groom. I think they're both developed extremely, extremely well, and it's this kind of idea of Frank being a sort of unreliable narrator, but allowing you to get into his comfort zone as the reader and being revealed more and more and more, and I really liked how he kind of opened up and then also continued to kind of pull forward those kind of aspects from the people around him, so we got to see more and more from them as he also got to know them and wanted to let us into his own perspectives more. I really, really loved and enjoyed being in Frank's head, and I think it made characters like Maggie and Aiden feel that much more real and tangible, and it makes kind of the ending kind of hit you that much harder. So I really, really, really loved this book. But again, definitely not for those of you who don't, definitely not like the chill beach read. Definitely has far more of an emotional toll. This will definitely take more of an emotional toll out of you than I was expecting reading the premise. But I really, 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 really enjoyed it. And I'm starting, like, Jason Rekulak, like, I feel like he didn't really impress me enough with Hidden Pictures. And that's like a kind of mean thing to say, but Hidden Pictures was a great read, but it wasn't a read that stuck with me. It was a book that I really enjoyed reading, and in the moment I was like, that was fantastic. I loved the mystery. It was fast-paced. It was cool. I didn't see the twist coming. 5 stars kind of thing. But I never go back and think about this book. Ever since I finished this book, I cannot stop thinking about this and how just emotionally draining some of this was. And so this really, really, really impressed me, and I'm really happy that I picked this one up at the airport. So yeah, 5 stars. Really, really impressed with this. Definitely will be reading more from Jason Rekulak. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I loved how different it was from Hidden Pictures while still very much feeling like the same author. He's so good at his pacing in this story. Again, this is a slow burn of a read, but you don't necessarily feel it because the chapters are so short and kind of quippy. So it might take a while for everything that's being laid out to come to fruition, but you don't really feel that. Anyhow, that is all that I have for you guys today. As always, I try to post every Monday and Thursday, sometimes on Saturdays. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Mwah!